You guys have a chance, to set a franchise record with a 9 win in a row in the regular season. If you guys are able to win on Friday, I mean, to be able, to set, some history. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Having the opportunity to do something that's never been done before.
I mean, my short answer to that is we don't care. I mean, we just want to win, and that's it. We take care of business each and every week, worry about us, worry about our process. I think we've had a great week of practice. When you talk history and you talk about things, I mean, good things happen when you win. And, we're not going to shy away from that. Would be a great accomplishment, but it ain't something we're focused on. It's actually my first time hearing about it, to be quite honest with you. But at the end of the day, I just love the way our guys have worked this week and prepared. And we still get a chance tomorrow to meet and finish the week on a positive, very positive note and go into that building prepared and ready to win.
When you think about how long the franchise has been around, and it has been a long time, I mean, I know you've heard this for the first time right now, but it's got to feel like, you guys are doing something special that hasn't been done basically forever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you put it in those terms, would a win like this be special? Absolutely, but they're all special, man. I mean, and I've said it before. We never take for granted winning in this organization. We never take for granted our preparation. So our focus is solely on that. And when you win and you continue to win, good things happen. And that would be a great accomplishment for this organization and for this group of guys. But that's not why we do what we do. So. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm glad that our guys are focused. I've watched them be focused all week. We actually had our first 3 days of practice all year, so excited about the work we put in and just looking forward to it paying off on game day.
Going back to mid-September, the last 2 losses were against Toronto back-to-back, mid-September of 2023. Since then, you've won 11 games in a row, counting the playoffs. What has happened to that team since those 2 losses against Toronto? Do you recall?
I just feel like, as an organization, we've just continued to get better. We learned our lessons throughout the season last year. Each week we learned more and more. We got better and better as the season went on and progressed. This year we kind of take right where we left off. Just the guys are just locked in. They know how to prepare. They know the way we coach. They know our systems. And we got a great bunch of guys that love to play for each other, play for one another. And we work hard to do that. But there were lessons along the way, and there's going to be plenty of lessons to learn this season. So we don't take a day for granted here, and that's what I love about this group of guys.
Was that something in particular that happened in that game? There you lost 23-20 at Montreal against Toronto. That changed things.
No, I mean, again, I just think, from that moment on, we've just played better than the opponent, all things. But there are lessons for sure in those 2 losses that we recall. There's little things in those losses, but there's little things in the wins that we've learned as well. That's made us a better team today than we were back then, or better as an organization. Just the way we prepare, the way we talk. The way we schedule things, just about everything. We've learned. It's just gotten better, and our guys believe. That's the big thing. They believe. So, excited about the next one.
How do you find Fajardo has evolved in year 2 under your system?
I just feel he's comfortable. I mean, he's confident and comfortable, which you'd expect being a few years now into the system, but also with the guys in the room. They're very familiar faces for him. We brought back a lot of guys that produced for him last year, and that's what I see. I see, AC being in the room with them every day, Mike, the coaching staff, the players around him. Obviously he's gotten better himself, just physically gotten better, more confident. And anytime you have a confident quarterback who has a lot of ability and toughness and gives effort every single day, you like that guy behind center.
Would it mean anything extra to you to be the first team to defeat the Argonauts this season?
Anytime you can defeat an Eastern rival, it's a big deal, and we're not shy about saying it. They're undefeated. We are as well. We're playing in their house. It's a big game. Again, we're not shy about saying that. But at the end of the day, we just want to win, and we've prepared to win this week. We've done everything we can up to this point, and we'll do one more deal tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to play them.
Thank you.
Yep.
Said you're playing the best football of your career. Would you agree with that?
Career, as in CFL, I think I'm playing at a high level, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement. Last week I left a lot of plays on the field, and I think I'm my own worst critic, and there's a lot of things that I need to clean up. And thankfully, we're early on in the season, and we found a way to win football games, even though I feel like there's more in the tank and there's more I can give. But that's from a guy who's seen a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of Grey Cup winning quarterbacks, and evaluated a lot of people. To have that praise from him, it means a lot to me. But like I told everyone last year, the first conversation I had with Danny, he said, "I believe you're a Grey Cup winning quarterback," and that right there sold me on why I wanted to sign here in free agency, because I felt like the management had my back, felt like Coach Maas had my back, and I knew if times got tough, they weren't going to shy away from me, and that they were going to help me kind of build and become the quarterback I'm becoming. So I'm really excited about the way I've excelled, but there's a lot of room to improve.
Going on the road, obviously, there always are certain expectations. But the fact that you guys went out west and won the first 2 games of the year, how much of a boost of confidence is that going back on the road now?
Yeah, I think road games are a lot what we're kind of accustomed to. It's us against the world, and it's felt like that here a while now. And so when you go on the road, we have some fans that travel, but it's obviously a hostile environment, and Toronto's a little bit different. But what I do know about Toronto is they're extremely talented at home. And last year, I think we were the only team that gave them a loss at home. And so they do a really good job of finding ways to win games at home. They've also played in 2 really tight ball games. And when you win tight ball games, there's a bond that's formed, and you find ways how to win games. So this is going to be a tough test for us, but having prior on the road challenges, especially going out west and playing a Bombers team in their stadium, and then Edmonton, 2 West teams, like you said, that's always challenging. But the East, anytime you can win a home game in the East, that's big. So that was big for us last week, and we want to go over there and try and steal one.
Last year, you guys faced them back-to-back weeks late in the year, and obviously those were 2 big games. But do you get the feeling now that, I know it is so early, but this game, who knows, at the end of the season, may be the difference between getting the division and not?
Oh, I talk all the time about how these early wins and these early points, these 2 points, mean a lot, because you never want to be at the end of the year and saying, "Oh, I wish we had done this better in the early part of the year. Oh, if only we would have won this game." If you want to be the driver at the end of the year, and you want to have that first round bye and host that playoff game at home in the East Final, you got to win these games early, especially against Eastern opponents. So they're very talented. They're an undefeated team as well. They've lost 3 games in the last 2 years. That club knows how to win football games. It's going to be a tough challenge for us, but I think the guys are ready for it, and we're excited for that challenge and that measuring stick to see where we stack up against them.
Your last 2 losses as a team were against Toronto in September of last year. You've won 11 in a row since. Do you remember if anything happened after the second game against Toronto that changed everything?
I believe it was at their place. We had like 5 turnovers in the first half, and that was when we had that aha moment where the ball is everything, and when we wanted to limit turnovers. I think from that run on, our turnover differential was like plus extremely high number, and so that's what we learned. We learned about protecting the ball. They do a great job of trying to take it away, punching at it when we're running with the ball, or the receivers have the ball in their hands. So we have to limit the turnovers and find a way to be in it in the fourth quarter, and hopefully have a chance to win it late.
I realize it's still very early, and we're not going to get carried away, but do you get any sense that there's something special going on here with this team and this group?
I think just it started last year with the organization and the people they brought in, and carried over into this year. At this time last year, I always tell people we were just trying to get to know each other, and now we have a bond that was built with a lot of the returning guys of winning a Grey Cup, a bond that will never be broken. And then the new guys who have came in, what I'll say about the new guys is they've came in, they've listened, they've seen how the things have run and operated, they've brought great energy, they're really excited to be in the building, and so I think they're building something special, and it starts with Machocha, and it starts with Maas and the guys that they bring in.
Thank you.